4 o'clock, and I think we have a quorum to get started. I am expecting Herb. Hi, Amy. I'm expecting Herb to join us, but I'll have, well, I've done the roll call by as everybody logged in from Zoom. And can we get an approval of the minutes from the last meeting?
There were just a couple of typos.
Okay.
One was my name.
Oops.
That's okay. I mean, I get called a lot of things, but and that's under programs.
Okay.
And then on let's see, before web coordinator, judge coordinator, it said, and then we'll pick 3 judges. So it probably only
Okay.
part of that. That's all.
Thank you.
Betcha.
So with those corrections, I move that we approve.
I'll second.
Third.
All in favor to approve. Aye.
Aye.
Great. The minutes are approved. Thank you. And since I'll turn this over to Cindy, our new head. And can you address, are you the VP? Are you the acting president? Are you both? Would you give us some direction on how you want to go forward?
So I have not gotten familiar with everything, but I am your president. I believe we voted that on the last annual meeting that we had. So as far as vice president, I think that's an open spot that we continue to recruit for. In the interim, what we'll do is I'll grab some of it. Nancy, you've graciously volunteered to take a bit of it. And then other things that we have slots for, we'll just try to recruit somebody to do those pieces. I think it should work well that way. So that would be the VP's slot as far as I'm concerned, unless anybody else has any concerns or questions.
Thank you for taking that on.
Comments about opportunities for SRPS. Well, I haven't really thought about that, but I did get, with the exception of what Elizabeth noted about the rules changes. But before that, Amy sent me a email yesterday that has been sent to her and Tony regarding, I think it was from Greg Pesh. I'm trying to remember his last name. Anyway, he's somebody that chose not to renew his membership for the upcoming year. And he went into a list of the reasons why. Some of it, I think he's just outgrown the club. Other things, his comments were he didn't like the emphasis put on competition and just thought that it divided the club. My own thoughts on that is competition is a part of the club. And if one does not want to choose and participate in that part, they don't have to. But on the other hand, and this is where I'm going to need some input and thoughts from people, is how do we get those people that do like to show their photos a way to be able to share them? And I'm going to, forgive me if I use Marin Photo Club, but I've been involved with that one so long. At Marin Photo Club, we use SIGs, which are special interest groups. And I'm wondering what our thoughts would be about Santa Rosa possibly having a few special interest groups where people that were interested in, say, pictorial or black and white or something, that those individuals got together on their own to look at images, try to suggest ways to improve images. It's a good way for socializing. And maybe that could be something that would sort of address that need that it sounds like that Greg and perhaps others are missing at this point in time. So what are some people's thoughts on that? If any.
I
Yeah.
think that peer critique would be great for people who don't want to be in a formal competition setting. I just don't know if we're big enough to break into special interest committees or whether it would just be like one group and then everybody puts in whatever they want into that, not broken down by topic. Because I mean, another thing that people sometimes complain about is having to be constrained by travel journalism, by all of our categories. So, I mean, just, untether it from the whole competition
Right.
concept.
Well, can I say something? TAPG has a salon, I think once a month. I participated once and it wasn't for me because basically what it seemed to me was that you showed your photo and people said, "Oh, that's nice," and they moved on. There wasn't any critique at all. So that's not, that wasn't what I was looking for. But it might appeal to somebody like Greg who, or other people who don't want to deal with the constraints of the competition.
The TAPG does have a critique once a week. And that's the last Tuesday or the,
Once a
I think
month.
it's the last Tuesday of the
Oh,
month.
Once a
I think.
month.
Yeah,
I
once
didn't
a
know
month.
that.
Yeah.
Could you tell me, enlighten me, TAPG stands for,
Oh, Tuesday afternoon photography group or something
Yeah,
like that.
photo group.
and is that a part of the Santa Rosa Club or is that something
No.
separate? Okay.
It's a separate club that meets in person at the Finley Center in Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa.
And many members, there's crossover.
And it's gotten
Nancy?
small enough so that we're not meeting anymore in the Finley Center because we don't have
Oh.
enough people to pay for it,
Oh,
basically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
When did that
everything is
happen?
Zoom and meeting outside.
Cindy, I'm doing a critique night once a month.
Right.
And I have anywhere from 3 to 8 people in 10 to 15-minute segments. And I've been doing this for 3 years.
Right. But doesn't that basically, isn't that part of what people are planning on entering into images in competition night?
Oftentimes, yes.
It's a combination. Some are in it for competition, and others, particularly new members, it sort of gives them a chance to get their sea legs going and see how their stuff looks critiqued.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy,
Yeah.
I think Nancy told us about special interest groups a while ago when I was actually interested in talking to people about printing. And I know Ed Lark also got another printer. And we actually had a few off-site meetings where we got together and passed around prints. That's something that you need to do in person. So, and there was a little bit on the forum. I think Steve set up a sub forum, and so we had some discussion there also on how to get going on that. So, for something that's specialized like that, if there's enough people interested, I know Bill was involved also in that. So if there is enough interest in something like that, I'd certainly go for a printer special interest group.
That's great.
With Jennifer.
As far as
Yeah.
size goes, what are we, about a 50-member club?
48 as of
Yeah.
today.
That's close enough. And
Minus
so
one.
what I wanted to just kind of point out is I belong to a little local club here in Prescott, Arizona, and it's about 50 members as well. And this past year, I did the same thing and thought, are people interested in that? And we basically, with a 50 club member, probably got 4 different special interest groups.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
One was I personally taught a class on or something on Lightroom, and then post processing. They have a night sky club, and some of them are more like what you're talking about, Herb or Tony, as far as they don't have to meet on a really often basis once a month, or maybe if it's a club that wants to meet once a quarter, we could decide on that. We could possibly dabble in it. I was just something that I thought might fill that slot for some people who really aren't interested in competitions, but would like to get some feedback from their peers. Nancy, you had your hand up. You're on mute. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not being on the board, I'm waiting for everybody to talk first. I would like, I have a lot of opinions on this because personally, my interest is on critique and feedback. That is my preference. And I joined the Marin Club because of the SIGs, and I belong to a few of them, and I love it. I love the fact that, and I think we could start with just a plain critique feedback SIG for anything. And also, in terms of having 50 members, we tend to go between like 12 and 20 at any meeting. So I don't think I don't think it would be filled too much. But I would suggest having it. Now, what the Tuesday afternoon group does, which is nice for their monthly, they call it a salon, monthly salon, is that is there somebody in charge of getting the images, but every month somebody volunteers to lead it, which is kind of nice. It doesn't put all the pressure on one person to be the lead. And the lead basically gets the images ahead of time, looks at them, comes up with ideas ahead of time, and then when the image is shown, that the lead gives their thoughts, and then people then give their ideas to of what they like about it, what they think would help, and with interaction. I think it's fabulous. It's one of my very favorite things, and my husband as well.
Yeah, and Ronnie, to your point about just people saying, "Oh, that's a pretty image," and moving on. Yeah, I would agree that you just don't want something unless you had one that was called show and tell sick. But
Right.
for
That's
the
kind of
most part, I
what
hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want people to, it's first of all, it's for everybody to enjoy. You want people to get good feedback that's not judge feedback in a friendly situation so that people can, I mean, in these things, I don't want to, you don't want to hear from nasty people. That doesn't help anybody out. But if people can give good constructive feedback, I think it helps. And I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about after reading Greg's email, and you hate to have somebody quit, and I don't really know him, but I thought maybe he has some legitimate points as far as if he doesn't want to compete. Maybe we could try to see if something like that could fill a need here. We could put out a quick survey, a Google survey, if somebody wanted to pull that together, just saying, would you be interested in a special interest group that you would want to join that would offer some critiques and another way for you to show your images and see what some of the members thought, because I think it really might appeal to those that also are not the ones that compete.
I think it's a fabulous idea. I would definitely be active in it. I don't want to be the lead, but I would be very much a part of it. And then, as far as a print group, there could be a print SIG, like
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And they can meet wherever, there's various options that could happen for that. And there's 2 right there that that would bring in interest. And then if it gets so successful that we would want to have either multiple ones or just branch off. If there's like I used to belong to the iPhone SIG until the one that I belong to went away. But there's I think a couple more left, like in Marin, and that was very helpful to learn how about things that I wasn't aware of. So those are I would love for things to go in this direction.
Mhm.
We
And-
have several,
Yeah.
we have several tech options for, do we want to do these SIG type meetings as Zoom type meetings? Do we want to upload images to a gallery and discuss the images, kind of like what we're doing this evening in our program night, Guess the Selfie? Do we want a text forum where you can upload an image, or just, you know, there are several options, but it's kind of, where do we want to put the effort? Because I don't really want to have to support all the different options.
What these SIGs, it would be depending on how it's structured. One way you do it is the person that volunteers to be the lead would normally just be the one that would decide how they wanted the images. So it's kind of self-run. It's not this board that would have to run the image. It would be that you would have somebody that said, okay, I'm really interested in iPhone photography. And so I'd like to see if there's enough interest in a group that would do that, and that they would set up how they would like to see it via Dropbox or however, or you're meeting on some, meeting in person someplace. And that's kind of, you don't want to have to dictate how somebody is going to run a SIG. I don't think that works if everybody's putting their fingers in, telling the group how they should be conducting that.
Well, what I'm looking for is, what mechanism do we want to use, as opposed to, I guess I'm putting the cart before the horse.
I'll speak to the attempt at putting a printing SIG together. It started with the forum in the, I guess it was Visual Pursuit site, or the old site where there was a forum for printing, and people who were interested in printing get on there and talk about, I'm having a problem with this, that, or the other thing. And then we could all chip in if we wanted to. And then once a month we met over in Sebastopol, I think, for a couple of times. For prints especially, you need to touch the real thing. It doesn't lend itself to another monitor presentation. And so I think the only technical involvement might be a forum.
And if I could get a volunteer to take the raw, unformatted text from the separate website, I had to dump it because there was no way of converting it. And it just came out as raw text, no paragraphs, no formatting. And if I could give someone the raw text and they could go through and parse it all into posts by separate people, and then format the paragraphs within that, and dress it up, then I can load that into the VP forum. And
even if we just started over, I think it'd be useful. I don't know that we need to go back to what was done, just if there was a place now to pick it up from, say.
Yes.
VP has that ability. Forgive me and tell me to shut up if I refer to MPC too often. I'm just very familiar with most pieces of it. And the VP has sites where you can already set that up, and then people can have the discussions and nobody needs to maintain that.
If it's not already turned on and active, all I need to do is toggle something, but it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe if you would want to look into that. I don't want to turn this whole discussion about SIGs. I just thought, as far as what we're talking about and what I think that maybe introducing something new to the club, I think that might be a good thing to look at, and we can, like I said, we could just put it out there. I don't know exactly how, but if we just did a quick Google survey that we could send to everybody and gather their interest, and so we could talk about it in February, and then maybe come up with some, and let's get some volunteers to try to do it and see how it works. One or two is perfect to start out with. Herb, if you wanted to do that print sig, that sounds great. Tony, if you want to have the critique my image sig, or if you want to keep it how you have it now, either one is fine. Not trying to change anything, just trying to add to our group. So anyway, any thoughts? Go ahead and Elizabeth.
I will take the action to do a survey. I'll talk to Tony about framing it, and it'll be a general questionnaire. And from the conversation, we're starting fresh, and it's going to be rather organic. And I'll just pose it that way. Maybe I'll list 4 or 5 topics that we think would be interesting, and let people know that this is a new initiative, and to open the conversation for the February meeting. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that'd be great. And then if you could send me a draft before it goes out, I'd appreciate that. And so the other issue that Elizabeth listed under me, if I can go back to I can't find it, but you had something about, sorry, Elizabeth, I just lost.
Yeah, it was, you had mentioned to me advancement and rule changes, and that was something that you had mentioned to me in a phone call that we had.
Yeah, so I think what I'd like to put that under is new business. If we could list that under new business rather than just the kind of introduction, advancements and rules. So maybe we can move that one to that part of the agenda. That'd be great.
Okay.
Anything anybody would like to see from me this year as far as things that you'd like to see done? Let me know. Ronnie, you're on mute.
Yeah, didn't think you wanted to hear me, coughing.
Oh.
I hesitate to bring this up now because I think it will come up later as far as the website. I've been trying to communicate with you about getting some help from the webmaster in the Marin Club.
Yeah, I sent something to a couple of people. They didn't respond.
No.
Okay, I'll jump
I haven't
on
heard from anybody.
Keith is usually pretty good about that. Keith Cockerham. Let me after this meeting, I will ping them again.
Yeah, but wait until we get to that subject further on. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, just shoot me an email if you think I'm doing something stupid or that you don't like. Doesn't mean I'll always agree with you, but I always like to hear all sides of an argument. So, and that's, I think, all I have for this year going forward. So, thanks.
Thank you. Great. We'll move on to Herb if we could.
Sure. Do we have a copy of the treasurer's report? I guess was distributed, right?
I distributed it as an email attachment this morning. And so people should have it in their inbox.
Do you want, Elizabeth, do you want to share that, or I can share
it? I don't have access to it from where I am.
If you make me co-host, I can share mine if people would like to see it. Otherwise, we can just talk about it if everybody has it in front of them.
I haven't printed it, but it's on my computer.
Does anybody need to see a copy of it?
I have it, obviously, but it's shareable, or what is this?
Elizabeth, looks like you maybe.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
All right, so I think we have it up for you.
Wonderful. Someone who knows how to use Zoom. So yeah, it's fairly self-explanatory. I think finances are in good shape and spending was below budget. Our budget for 2025 was to lose $740. You can see that in the fourth column on the left. And we didn't lose 740. We made 459, so a differential of a swing of $988. Um, key key differentials were marketing, um, membership. That's no, that's excuse me. I'm looking at that's budget for next year. Um, the year-ending cash balance was 8,183 for an increase of 248 versus last year's balance. Um, what this number should be, whether we should have a target for it over time, that's a topic for discussion perhaps later. A few years ago, we were just trying to avoid bringing that number down to zero because we were paying for the Luther Burbank Center for $1,800 a year, and with reduced membership, that was on a glide path to not having enough money to run it, but switching to a Zoom format has gotten us to a position where we have funds. So for a budget, the last column on the left-hand side, I threw together just a guesstimate as to what we could consider, and I used 2025 actuals and or the budget for 2026 and made the following adjustments. The liability insurance, we finally found a company, Hiscox, that will do the whole thing for $350 a year, and apparently it works because Tony's relatively happy. I think it's getting us into places that required a, a coverage policy, so that works. Um, the meetup was eliminated. That got to be real expensive real fast. They kind of like doubled it
Yeah.
uh, in a year to 360, and we managed to cancel that. That was a thrill and a half because once you try to cancel it, you're locked out of the system. And my credit card was still in the system. And long story short, finally got that canceled. Um, Presentation fees were a little over, but we used the higher number of 950 as a possible budget. And social expense put the number up at 500 going forward to pay for mains on social gathering, and that's also more in line with what we have spent as a club in the past for gatherings. Website.
Herb, can I ask a question?
Sure.
What does website SRPS .org cover?
Used
Website
to.
that's just the it used to be website hosting. Um,
That's
that
what I guessed.
that is no longer necessary thanks to the switch over at this point um, to the Visual Pursuit system as our website. The GoDaddy domain fee is a 2-year plan, so that was taken care of. So essentially, the numbers on the right-hand side, I think will cover us for the year, and it shows us basically break even,
Perfect.
which is not a bad place to start from. I think this is all subject. We can look at this and revise it over time, but that's at least a number to deal with going forward. January is also the time where I guess Cindy would know this too, the annual tax forms need to be prepared. And these first four are California tax forms, and I guess I will send a copy of these to Elizabeth just so we have them on record. They all need to be filled out and formed, and they describe our finances and balance sheets and so on and so forth. And there's a little fee. There's a federal form 990 which used to be no problem, but now the website is non-functional. I've tried a few times. I don't know whether that's a cost-cutting measure, but I'll keep checking that until till April, or if they come out after us. I doubt it.
I thought they set up a new login procedure on that. I could be wrong because it was changed a while back. So if you filed it last year, yeah, it might be something new that's going on there.
Yeah, you just go to the site, you click the link for file a 990E postcard, and it comes back with well, I can try it now. You know, it's not available, it's not up and running. I'll see.
So may I ask some questions?
Sure.
First of all, what would be helpful for me on your report going forward is if you would show the number of members that we have.
That is yeah,
Just at the
Amy would
top
be
line.
better. I think Amy's list is better for that purpose.
But I
Because
find it helpful because when I see $4,100, I have to do the math to figure out how you got to $4,100. And in essence, it should be that we're forecasting a number of members that we're going to have during a given year to know, what our membership fees are and such. So it just is just a point of reference. And
it's consistent with last year's membership number. I'm not forecasting any particular number of members.
right, but I'm not seeing it on there, and I just would like to see our
Yeah.
members on there. So if you could add that to a top line that's not part of the P and L.
Yeah, this it's just everything is not as easy as it sounds because our membership number is used to for our N4C fees, I think.
Yep,
And then so if it's above 50, you're a big club. If you're below 50, you're a small club.
yep.
And then is members actively competing members and honorary members and non-competing members.
Mm-hmm.
So we can put 3 lines there that break them out by each category, which might be useful.
Yeah, it is. I can send you something that
Okay,
I put together
I'll
in the
just
past.
I can update that from
Yeah, it's just a footnote. I know it's not part of the financial P and L, but it's
Amy's
good information to be
yeah.
able to refer to.
Yeah.
And you can
I
put
don't,
it down below if you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has an impact, but only competing members can have images uploaded to N4C. So is
Right.
that the number you
Yes.
should base that on?
No,
That-
I'm interested in all three.
Yeah, that's the number I use for paying our N4C.
Yeah, and so your membership person could just give you the numbers to drop in there, and then that's the end of it. I mean,
Yeah.
for the year.
No worries.
And you wouldn't have to be, change them because the budget is the budget and that sort of thing. We would get just the actual numbers from somebody else. What is in marketing expenses?
Ronnie can go
Let's
through
see,
that,
what
I
is in
think.
marketing expenses? Well, when we
Just-
have an exhibit and we do some publicity, some
Mhm.
things we have to pay for. I've bought ads on Facebook and Instagram in the past.
Okay,
Things like that. Facebook in general is free, and so is Instagram, unless you buy ads. And then there's also events.com, which has a fee, which I don't remember off the top of my head.
that's fine. I was just wondering in general what it was composed of. So, what are the membership expenses?
That would be N4C.
Okay. And are we a member, is PSA in that as well? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I
Yes.
just need general so that
Yep.
I probably won't put you through this again unless I forget.
No, it's good.
It's just for me to start, gearing up. And presentation fees, what is that? Because that's a hefty $950.
That's Linda can answer that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, That's more than I remember, but it's for the presenters. And this year we're not going to be using that much because we have 4 master's presentations, which takes up 4 nights, program nights. And so I didn't know if we
Okay.
would be
So when
combining
You know, I
dates or
didn't even think
something.
of that. If I had been thinking, so it's basically your judge fees is what their honorariums that you're giving
No,
them.
Yeah.
No, the presenters.
Program night.
Judge fees or judge
Oh,
fees.
oh, okay.
so Linda, if you're suggesting that's high, we can bring that down.
I think for this year it might be. I don't know. I mean, we're looking at some people who like John Burgess for we don't have anything for February, but we've been trying to work with him for February, and then Rob DeVento landscaping for March, and then April we start with our masters, programs. So there are going to be 4 of those. So
Okay, that's fine. I mean, this is just general, so it's
yeah,
basically your now I get
it can be
presentation.
shuffled around,
And social events are just our outings or
parties
something
and stuff.
is okay. All righty. And everything else looks like fine. Now, another question is, I noticed that we had about, I'm going to round up, $8,000, or wrongly, about $8,200 at the year end this year. Do we have any sort of strategy or management for how much cash we want to keep in the bank? Like 1 year's expenses, or because we can't always keep adding cash. And I know things changed after Zoom when we, didn't have to pay as much as far as going, online.
Well, I
Have,
mean,
has the
yeah,
board ever discussed that?
that's a question I would have for you and Marin. Was there ever a targeted capital budget? Do they have capital assets, or is it purely just cash based, and or these funds are reserved for,
Right.
I would say, a possible one-time project? And I know that there is somewhere in the agenda consideration about making a more appealing front end to the club website.
Mhm.
And some of these monies could be used to fund that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think a good cash reserve for nonprofits is usually about 1 year's expenses or 1 year's membership. I mean, really, we all know that all the expenses we have are month to month. So really, if something tragically happened, the only thing you might be doing is refunding money to members, and that would be it. So I think maybe we put that on as a list for next time as well, but maybe we should look at our reserve, and then it gives you exactly what you're saying, the ability to, if there's a project that the club has been putting off, or if you wanted to, I don't know, the social person said, okay, we're going to throw a wingding of a party or something like that.
Yeah.
We just had a
You'd have
wing
the funds
ding.
to do some of that. Yeah, yeah.
I hope we paid for that.
Denise, 2 observations. One, I don't like to be a naysayer, but right now, I'm not real comfortable with what's either going on nationally or globally, and I'd like to keep cash king. Number
But
2, I recommend that we set up an ad hoc committee to get back with some philosophy on where we should be going financially. And
yeah,
that,
but cash, but 2 things. We are a nonprofit organization, meaning the money that you're coming in with should be what you're spending. And over the years, and I'm only looking at the past 23, 24, and 25, that number has continued to climb. And I'm willing to bet you if you went back to pre 2020 before COVID, so pre 19, that cash balance was a lot lower than you have it
Right.
today.
It
And
was.
so the issue is, I understand what you're saying with cash, but really you're running a month to month business. And so really anything, if you were to stop today, there would be no future expenses. So in that there's only going to be cash, which you're not going to be spending. So the fact that you want to keep, and I'm not saying you personally, but this is you, all of us, that you would want to plan your cash so that you don't have really more than you need, because really that money is the members' money. And so if you keep building cash, that's money that could be spent or refunded to the members.
Cindy, one other point.
Yeah,
If we're looking at doing something on the front end or with the website at all, that could absorb a lot more cash than we have now. So I think I think this could be earmarked as non-operating and fall into a category where it's against one item for the club.
okay, so I think I'm going to put Tony in charge, and I'll be on your committee and grab one other person on your committee, and let's get together and take a look at this and see what that recommendation would be, and come back to the board as far as recommendations for cash.
Can I volunteer to be on that? Because
Absolutely.
that is a marketing item.
Yep. Anybody else? Is that a good committee?
The more the merrier.
Unless we're all there again. All right, well, thank you. This is, as I said, your review on the finances will not be as arduous next time. I'm just trying to get up to speed
It's
myself.
it's not arduous at all. I'll add the lines of the 3 types of members in the bottom.
Yeah, and I know we will discuss that again. And did
Yeah.
you want to talk about or I guess we just did the year-end balances.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we had discussed, around a $5,000 balance as being a target, and
Got it.
but plan to draw down to that level over time, or with one bigger project is something which is still on the table.
Yep, and I do see, yeah, if we look to 2020, it looks like it's just, yeah, gone up every year. Are you guys looking at the same screen I am? I have
Yes.
your account balances up.
Yep.
Is that what you see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes when you switch from thing to thing, it doesn't. Any other comments you have on that or wanted to discuss?
Nope.
Great. Great. Thank you. All right, Elizabeth, back to you.
Thank you. And we'll go through the committee reports, and finance always takes a lot of time at the beginning of our meeting. So I just want to remind people that we're on a hard stop before the club meeting, but I'll turn this over to Amy.
And before we do that, do we need to approve the budget?
That's what I
Oh,
was gonna
thank
ask.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to make those motions or if I'm just supposed to record them. So if somebody would like to make a motion to approve the budget.
I move that we
I will.
approve the budget.
Great. And Herb seconds it.
Sure.
All in favor of the budget?
Aye.
Any nays? The budget is approved for 2026. Thank you, Amy.
Sure.
Elizabeth, if you don't want to count hands, just take a dissenting vote. That'll
Okay.
be faster for you.
Good idea.
Okay, so brief update on membership. I'm still kind of shaking everything loose to see who's renewing and who's not renewing for this year. But as of today, like I said, we have got 48 members, which includes 8 of those are honorary members, so they're not paying dues. We've got 16 plus Steve in the masters category. This is of the regular membership. 7 in advanced, 4 in intermediate, 10 in basic, 3 in associate, and 7 additional people in honorary. So last year we combined intermediate and basic for petition because we had too few people in intermediate, and we still do. I think our threshold was 5 on that to do the combination. So I assume we're still going to go forward with that plan for this year. And Elizabeth wanted me to make some comments about trends, I guess, and plans. So just quickly, it looks like we've got more basic people joining, or they're not necessarily basic in skill level, but people are coming in at that category because a year or two ago we were concerned that we didn't have enough people in basic, so we sort of started funneling more people into that level. And I think where we're getting people is generally word of mouth and Facebook referrals, some returning members, and we had one person who was a carryover from the fair event we did a couple of years ago. We seem to have potentially lost a lot of people this, at the end of this year. Some of them are just, I think some of them are just haven't gotten around to paying the dues. Joel Brown, I'm thinking about you, but I'm assuming he's going to renew. But yeah, some of them moved or went on to other things. Some are just kind of silent. And then there's the one that you mentioned, Cindy, who made some comments about dissatisfaction with the club. So I'm not sure it's any more than normal turnover, but it does seem like a lot right now that are not renewing. So in terms of, and I'm going to kind of contradict what I anticipate Tony is going to be saying in a few minutes, but as far as membership success, I guess my feeling is not offering gimmicks like, to join now or discounts and things like that. I don't think the money is the barrier for most people. I think that keeping membership valuable is the key. And I think when we sort of start giving away things that are associated with membership to non-members, I think that's potentially an issue. Like, I like to make membership worth the price of admission, and that if you're a member that you get membership benefits. And and then I think that there's a lot of what people want to join for is, some people are competition people, and then there's a lot of people who like the field trips and the programs and that sort of thing. I think tying everything to the competition, like adding points or doing things that are in competition, is maybe not the way to go. So, and I'm just going to make one quick comment because we put at the end of the agenda, we took on a donation towards the end of the year of camera bags from Think Tank. And that might be something that we can use instead of points to sort of get people inspired and interested in different things that we're doing. Just something more tangible, benefits that we can offer to members. So that's
Yeah,
basically what I have.
that's a marketing thing, and I'm the one that suggested that we could think about a discount or some other incentive. So just to be clear about that.
Given our bank balance, is there reducing membership fee? Would that be significant?
Amy doesn't think so, and neither does Tony, from what I understand.
No,
So,
we did it. I think Nancy did a survey of us versus all the other clubs in the N4C region, and it really isn't. It's not the money. It's not going to. The feeling was that reducing our fee structures is not the impediment to new members.
yeah, and that's fine. A camera bag sounds good too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's an age thing.
I mean, I think the only
Yeah.
thing is, like, for people who are joining at the end of the year and, they're wanting some kind of prorated, they don't want to pay in November and then pay it in January. But
Well,
that's
one of
a
the
separate issue.
one of the things I have on I'll save this for later. I have a suggestion on my marketing plan to a group that might react to that, and that's students.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for me or?
Amy, as usual, will you get me the names of people that left so I can call them all?
Sure.
Thank you, Amy. Tony, you want to talk us through field trips?
Sure. Last year we had 2 bumps in terms of attendance. Typically going down to Goat Rock or going some other places where we've been before has not produced a lot of people. It would range between 4 and 6 or 7 max. By going to Pinnacle Beach, by going to Schramberger, and by going to Mayor Island, we were able to bump it up to 10 or 11. And we actually, for Mayor Island, had to do a repeat. So I look on that as a step in the right direction in terms of having some novelty from what we've done before. It also probably it's going to be almost every field trip will have either a breakfast or lunch attached to it. So there's a social tie-in to it too. And that worked very, very well last year after one of the events, and we had 6 or 8 people, even 1 or 2 that hadn't gone to the event. As for this year, I don't know how many people have been to Napa Lights, but it's very nice. Shutterbug, we have I limited it to 10, but we had a few latecomers, and I think we're going to have 12 or 13. The event in February for Tricia and I doing a cropping workshop is low on numbers, and if it stays low, I'll look to the Tuesday group and see if we can augment it there. Coming up after that, we have Mayor Island Tall Ships, Petaluma Butter and Eggs. In April, we're going to go to the Travis Air Force Base open house, which is really neat. Hopefully, we can get Steve involved for another one of his super tours downtown. If this Estero Americano is good, after my going down there tomorrow, I would move that into where the Point Reyes trip is. And for for July, we're going to have a picnic on Mount Tam, which I think will be a lot of fun, and it'll cost a little bit of money. Elizabeth's working on that, and that's pretty much what I have to talk about. I am reaching out. We had one event which we had a couple people from Marin in, and I'd like to keep that going. So that's pretty much a report. Any questions?
Great planning. Wonderful stuff coming up.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
Steve, do you want to talk about competition?
Sure. My end of year to-do list, all the competitions went smoothly, except I discovered a Visual Pursuits bug. They added the ability to have an alternate title on images. And when I loaded images for our end of year competitions. Some people had used alternate titles, and as expected, the alternate title carried through to the end of year competition. But bug that came up is that going from the end of year competition to the Al Shelton competition, which is the third competition for the same images, the alternate title did not carry through. And so the judges in journalism just saw an abbreviation on a couple images rather than the descriptive text for the sequence. I opened tickets with Visual Pursuits and they fixed it. And then I went through and verified that those same images, which are now in the N4C annual competition, I verified that they do have the proper titles. So we're now clear of all that. I have only one task, major task, remaining on that to-do list, which is also sort of beginning of year. And I need to update the rules posted on the website. I believe it's lacking a section relating to the portfolios. I think that's subtopic for competitions, keeper of the scores. I am close to finishing preparing the score sheet program, the actual Excel score sheet stuff, so that I'm going to be mentoring Sherry to go through the whole process of creating a spreadsheet, and she can evaluate if she'd like to take on that role.
Yay.
Okay.
Wow.
Mhm.
So
That's
that
amazing.
yeah, that's my big project for the next quarter.
Good.
Keep you off the streets.
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Good. Ellen isn't with us today, and she didn't send an update about the exhibition. Generally, they're later in the year, so I'll check in with her and see what she has for us. And then, Bill, can you go over the judge scenario for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Stephanie's in Brazil. I'm her backup. So we have 11 judge competitions each year, $100 to the judge. We have 7 of those judges identified for this coming year, which is normal. This is about, we're right on track. We have 3 judges at the end of the year who do the end of year judging. They get $50 each, so that's why we have come up with a budget of $12.50 for the year. Everything's on track. Oh, and the judges are invited back based on the response to the surveys that we send out for every competition. So if the members like the judges, they get invited back. If they don't, they don't. And sometimes we have to argue a bit, but pretty much that's where it is.
Great, thank you. Ronnie, I am not able to do the update. Cindy, can you share?
I can do that.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks.
Assuming I remember how to do it. So I click on share, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now I have to find it. I haven't done this in a long time, sorry. Oh, I forgot how to do this. How do I find my document? Can somebody help me?
It's probably
Sorry?
hang on, let me look at mine. Look at your applications window.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then just point over to the one you want, and then it should show with when you hit applications window. Nope. Looks like we're on your email.
Yeah, I see that.
I can share
one
it.
you
I
should-
have it open. Do you want me to share it? I have it open.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so you have to stop sharing. Okay.
Okay.
It keeps telling me I can't because you've
Stop
got
share.
to.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Can you see mine?
Yes,
Yes.
We go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I sent this to all of you. You should have that in your email, but I thought it would just be easier if we could just look at it. Um, so I guess the the biggest ongoing marketing effort is our social media presence, which is basically Facebook, where we have 324 members. That means that they are members of our Facebook page. Um, and anybody, it's a public site, it's a public group, so anybody can join that. However, they have to be approved by me. That's how we don't have a whole bunch of junk. That's why we don't have a whole bunch of junk in our Facebook posts. And that seems to work out pretty well. So we have 94 of the 324 members in our group. We have 294 non-members, non-SRPS members, and 30 SRPS members. So that means roughly a little more than half of our members are members of our Facebook group. Instagram isn't as popular, it seems. We have 174 non-SRPS members and 20 SRPS members on Instagram, which is, not surprising to me. So Amy, can you scroll up a little bit? Because I can't do that. Thank you. So as Herb said, we've canceled our Meetup account because they, I think they more than doubled the fees and we weren't getting much out of it anyway. So we canceled that. So just a couple of things that happened this year that didn't happen last year. I asked Jimmy at Shutterbug if I could put our business cards on their counter, and he was very happy to do that. I can't tell you that anybody has joined our club because they picked up our business card, but it's it's nice that it's there, I think. And also recently, we were approached by the Bohemian newspaper um, to see if anybody would be interested in being the on-site photographer for an event that they had at Hot Mug Tavern where they announced the winners for their um, music groups, and um, so I did that primarily because they promised that they would put SRPS on their um, on their page, and I thought it was also going to be in the printed version, but it was not, and that was kind of disappointing because I spent a lot of time on this. But It was a good learning experience for me. And if you're interested in seeing the photos that I took, there's a link here. Um, and so there's a couple of things under future activities. This goes to, sorry, my voice is kind of going. What is on the agenda as far as the look of our website, which we have been talking about for a few years. And hopefully, this will be the year that we can make that happen. Um, um, I, yeah, so I haven't heard from Ellen as far as any exhibits, but hopefully that will be coming. I want to suggest that we do the Sonoma County Fair again. I didn't get last year, I didn't get a lot of enthusiasm, so I thought I'd try again. It doesn't cost us anything, and it's the one way that I think we can get our name out in front of the general public, even if they don't join. They might know somebody who might want to join. And I think it's something worth doing. So I will send out an email about that and see if I can recruit some of you. I mean, basically, what's involved is setting up our display. We had a table. We had a 4x8 table that we could sit at and put our stuff on. And then behind us, we had framed photographs from the members. And so that's, something that we would do again. And this was basically for those of you that don't go to the fair. There's a building at the fair. It's called the Craft Building, and that's where they have the various applied arts. So that includes painting, drawing, photography. I guess photography is probably the largest category. And it would be great if we could do that again. Also, I think that we're all getting up there in the ages of our members, and it would be great for a lot of reasons to attract some younger members. And I think that the JC is could be a good market for us, especially since the Silvermans usually teach there at least once a semester. So I think that's a good target for us. And if anybody has comments about that, I'd be interested in hearing from you. Is there anything else, Amy? Yeah, that's it.
Question. I've run out of my supply of business cards. Where do I get more?
From me. Just send me an email and I'll figure out how to get them to you
Thank you.
anytime. I have lots.
Thanks, Ronnie.
You're welcome.
Steve, do you want to?
Can
Sorry.
I just say one more thing?
Mhm.
I think that we're not getting enough bang for our buck from the field trips. We're getting members going, but I think that it's a real value added feature that could be used to attract potential members. And I'd like to have a conversation with the membership, with the board about. We used to offer attendance at a field trip, 1, 2, or 3. They could join us for 1 to 3 times, and then after that, they would have to become a member. And I think we should revisit that because that's something that doesn't cost us anything and it could possibly attract new
Ron-
members.
Ronnie, in the last 4 years, the attendance from outside is 0.
And do they need to sign a liability
Yes,
waiver?
but we haven't pushed that. We haven't. Possibly.
I mean, we don't even have a liability waiver for our members at this point.
Yeah, I think we should look at that, but I think if you're gonna have outside non-members join in anything, we really need to have a liability waiver for those people to go. Do we have an attorney on anywhere in our membership?
Amy.
Oh, perfect.
And
Amy, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I
And-
mean, I think
Well,
we should
not
have it.
drafting it, but I mean, having a liability waiver for,
I mean, it doesn't hurt. I think we should have one for membership too, and it's kind of been
Yeah.
on my to-do list for a while, but we haven't gone to that.
you
So I
could
think
add it just to your membership renewal as well. So when you
right, that's what
you
it
just
was
click the
gonna be.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did, just as far as the letting non-members participate in field trips, I think Tony, and I thought you were involved in that too, Ronnie, we drafted a little statement for them to invite them, but it was only basically like as a freebie until they become members for,
Right.
you know, a period of time. So
I don't
I
remember.
think that's fine.
If you could put your hands on that, that would be great. I don't remember that. I remember talking about it, but I don't remember drafting anything.
I think, Tony, do you have the most current draft of that?
No,
Remember what I'm talking about? We did it like 3 months ago or so.
yeah, I can go back and look.
Okay.
I have extensive unorganized files.
Okay.
Okay. I
And
will
can
communicate
I
about
point
that.
out, in
Um,
any situation where we have guest participation, we need them to register on the VP website so that Amy and I can track that. But if you need to reach out to guests, then the VP mechanism will give you an automatic email addressing the guests.
Great. I will email you and you can tell me how to do that.
Cindy, do you have a waiver that the Marine Club uses?
Yeah, I'll steal it from them.
Okay,
There we
Why
go.
reinvent the wheel,
Problem
right?
solved.
right.
You can just edit.
That's helpful. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Steve, you're up.
Oh, me? You mean webmaster stuff?
Webmaster, yes.
Okay. Okay. For the coming quarter, my big project, which has been languishing a while, is to look at our email situation because right now, Amy and other, Ronnie, I guess, our free program, you have to log into a separate app in order to receive the email. You can't see it from your own email program. You have to have a paid account to do that. And by moving to a paid account, most vendors throw in other features, which I'm going to go through and evaluate in terms of, in the interim, ahead of getting a separate website front end of some sort, it may have forum, gallery, event management. Different email vendors have different features that are automatically included. And so I will go through and present something to the board of, if we go with this vendor, we get this feature, or if we go with that vendor and we look at the annual costs on that. But the amount of money for that is way less than paying for website hosting and getting a custom website.
And this is for doing the website because maybe I missed something. I'm clicking around on our site. Why aren't we using VP for our emails?
We are. It's functional and it's out there, but people aren't using it.
What is it?
That you can send it. I mean, as far as emails go, you can send everything through an email. You can send it to competing members, all members, guests,
So-
competitions.
Cindy, if you go to the send email page,
I'm on it.
you see all the custom SRPS groups on there. They're all prefixed with SRPS.
Right.
So
So
if
yeah,
you-
everything can be done through there. So
we
as
have
far as
we have
needing another
three
email system, I wouldn't
we
think
have
we
three
would.
different email systems right now. We have the one on VP. We have a listserv on some other, I don't even know what it's on.
Sonic,
but
we're
Sonic,
not-
yeah, sonic.net. So I maintain that. That's if you just send something to like SRPS, membership, then that's what coordinates that or serves that. And then we have this other account on this organization called Zoho Mail. And that's where if somebody sends an email to SRPS at membership, .org or whatever it is, or info. So it's for third parties to contact us. And that's the one that Steve's talking about right now. That one doesn't forward. So I think I'm the only one who really actively monitors that. And I have to remember every, few days to go into that and look at it. And if I send an email from there, unless I copy myself somewhere else, then I don't know if somebody responds to it. So, it's cumbersome.
Ridiculous. It's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. And we either have to have things forward, we either have to pay for it and get it forwarded from there, or do it through, I don't know why we can't do it through Gmail or, any
Right.
other service, but I mean, I'm sure Steve has a reason for that, but,
ideally,
Okay. I see what you're doing.
ideally, whatever I propose will replace both the Zoho separate, you'll be able to use it in your own email program. Plus, it would also handle the Sonic SR photo list.
right.
So we would, but the SR, the Sonic list is not a cost, I believe.
Well, it's just a lot of time for me to
Right, it's a lot of time,
print
but
email addresses.
right.
Yeah.
So by eliminating it, we're not going to save any money. Reasoning might have been we get rid of Sonic, we can use that money towards something else, but there's nothing going to Sonic.
But how much cost are we talking about anyway? Like ballpark?
Between $100 and $150 a year.
That seems like a kind of a no-brainer, but
Yeah,
it's
so
not.
what happened was that, so I talked about that gig at the Bohemian gig. So what happened was that she used the info email address, and you can't be checking that every day. And so she didn't get an answer. And so I think she found us at the Creative Sonoma, on the Creative Sonoma website, and I had to put my phone number on that because you can't have a listing there unless you have a phone number.
I don't
So-
think the info even works because I tested that a few months ago and I didn't get it. So, I mean, anybody who wants to contact us, they have to write to membership right now. It's any third party. So I get in the membership stuff, I get solicitations, I get all kinds of,
Well,
stuff.
sure, you're going to get junk. You
I
can't.
get junk. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand more so why all these emails. Steve, if you could keep me in the loop on that one, because I do have some other thoughts too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, and then another area on websites, in terms of help documentation, one of my programs now has AI features integrated into it. And I'm going to explore seeing if I can use that to make a simpler form of documentation, especially for new members, how to navigate the different features of our club.
Oh,
Okay.
one more thing, Steve, I forgot to mention it when you talked before about the competition stuff, but do we have posted on there a description of what the alternate categories are for each year?
It's, I'll look in a moment and get back to you, but what I normally need to do, what I've done in the past is when you go to submit an image to a particular category, there is a listing at the top of that page which describes the requirements of that category. And I think for 3 out of 4 of last year's topics, I copied it from the N4C site. But given that I missed a quarter, I think it's more prudent of me to just put the link to the N4C write-up in that position rather than me having to make sure I do it.
Yeah, I think like, where you have the rules listed, if you maybe put it under that tab, because that's just part of the rules. Like I think it refers back to alternate category. It's
Right.
nice so people know what it is.
When I referred to my task of needing to update the rules with the portfolio stuff, that's also an update in there. The alternate category to if it's not already there, putting the link in to where you can find that.
Yeah, or maybe just where it's mentioned in the rules themselves.
Well,
Just
that's what I'm talking about, is having
yeah.
the link right there in the rules.
Yeah, that would be best, yeah.
Dave, now that you have all the functionality together, how far away do you think we are from a reskin job on the website?
How far are we away from what?
Who's gonna get skinned?
Never mind. How far are we away from changing the look of the website?
Yeah. You're looking at, are we talking about when you did all the research and you sent examples of other VP websites where they had done the custom work?
Yes.
You're talking about that. That is not in my court. It's someone looking at these different ones, deciding which customization you would like to have done, and then hiring a website designer to implement the HTML code to do that.
Do you have any idea how much that would cost to hire somebody to do that?
We're not there yet. We first need to find somebody. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Steve, but
You're fine.
we first need to find somebody who has experience with VP. Because there's no point in finding somebody who has to start from square one. That
Exactly.
doesn't make any sense. So first we have to find somebody. First we have to decide what we want, and then we have to find somebody, and then we'll know how much it's going to cost. We have no idea.
I guess I'm wanted a ballpark to know if this is something that we can afford and
We
whether
don't
we should
know.
be prioritizing it, that's all.
We
I
don't
think
know.
the most efficient way to proceed is to look at those other sites that have custom VP front ends. And the question would be hiring someone, can we get the code from the source and hire someone to convert it and customize it for us? That's the
Right.
fastest way to go.
Right. And the cheapest. If it's fast, it's cheap.
Yes.
Cheaper. And that's why I have been anxious to get in touch with the person who does this for the Marin Club, so I have some idea, what Marin did, and then we can, go from there. I haven't done anything because we weren't there yet.
I think it was Elizabeth, Tony, and you who were working towards that.
Right. Elizabeth and Tony did most of that work, though.
I'm sorry. Have we done a look at other websites
Yes, we
for
have.
VPN that have skins? Is there a list of that?
Yes, we shared it maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I can resurrect it because it's pretty straightforward. It's colors and typefaces to start with. And the last time I talked to Steve about it, I understood he told me that when AI can do the revisions was when we would move forward on that. And so I
Yeah.
had tabled it
Okay.
until we're ready.
If you could send me the list of other websites that have this, and I was going to say, we live in interesting times now, because I mentioned this to my son, he works at Google, and he's off because I have a new granddaughter. So he's home. And I went down there, and AI is ridiculous. Basically, I said, look at this site, look at that site. Can you make me a front end for a VPN, for
Yeah.
Visual Pursuit's website? And in 10 minutes, he had 3 different alternatives.
Yep.
Now the problem, there's a lot of problems with this.
Yeah.
One is it's AI generated. And so even though we were in a development environment where we could look at the code, it's like in 10 minutes, it did what a team of skilled programmers would do. The code is almost unusable except by AI.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, I can get something pretty probably real fast, but I'm not sure how easy it is to maintain and to customize
Right.
and so forth.
And I asked AI that question about how to use AI to implement look and feel updates to a website. And it gave me 5 pages of instructions, and they all had caveats about where
No.
there was conflicting code.
No,
And
yeah.
so,
No,
it
you
was
can't.
way above my pay
No,
grade.
this is
A generator.
this is to get an AI that works well with code. It's an add-on, and so I think it's $20 a month or something to get a code generating AI. And I didn't have time to play with it then.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how viable it is. The point is, if you try to do this by the traditional means of having someone who knows HTML and CSS and JavaScript and blah blah blah, it's going to be a significant undertaking.
Yes.
And it'll take whatever it is and a lot of money and so on and so forth. I think anybody who does this probably will want to be doing it with an AI and with a code generating AI. It's not the Gemini or the stuff that we're all using. It's a specific integrated development environment that can do this and generated 3 examples in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
My son did. So if you could send or keep me in the loop, I guess, send me examples of what we have done. I don't want to belabor it. My understanding of it is literally this is just a front end
Yes.
Right.
that makes things pretty, that is the face to the public, and it's what they use. We would need to be able to maintain that or update it, make it, revise it as necessary. But once you click
Right.
into a member section, you go to the VPN, Visual Pursuit stuff, and you start interfacing with the old. We don't want to reskin the Visual Pursuits site. Is that correct?
No,
Okay. So
Okay.
that's correct.
Herb,
What,
I'm
what we
not.
would need to do in working with an AI is to start a conversation, specify to go to the VP website, walk through the VP website to learn how it functions and what are the coding type requirements, and then have the AI propose skins that all and generate VP constrained code. Because
yeah, this
if
okay.
it can generate the VP code, then it's maintainable by us. But if it can't make understandable, maintainable VP code, it's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah, so this is something we need to look at. I think probably offline, but I think this is the year.
Yep. And you sound like the guy to do it.
I was
You and your son.
very reluctant to say anything.
Tap your son.
But I will.
Gotcha.
If you can send me examples, I will take this over, look at it, and maybe have some proposals. We'll see.
Elizabeth, can you
Yeah.
copy me on your correspondence with her, please?
Yeah,
Herb?
and I would ask that everybody, I'm going to stay out of, copy me when you're doing correspondence, and I'll let you know if it's too much. I don't want to see it, but I'd like to be able to be aware of what's going
Yes,
on.
good
And
idea.
Herb?
because of
Herb.
time, we
In-
only
in-
have a half an hour here. I'm going to suggest that Steve do one last wrap up that I hear he wants to do, and then we continue to move on.
I just want
the
to
agenda.
quickly ask Herb, along with the screenshots and everything that Elizabeth can provide, I can go to the website and I think I can extract the code that those examples used.
Yeah.
Would that be of any use?
No, the only thing I need is the home URL of the sites there are. The AI will scrape from that URL
Okay.
the code all behind it.
Right.
And-
That's what I
and-
was assuming.
Yeah, and then the examples he gave me, were ridiculous. It had the pictures in the background of Sonoma
Yes.
Coast.
Yes.
So
Very good. We'll
but-
take care of that. Moving on.
okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Steve, are you a wrap or did you have something else?
No, those are just my two projects. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Linda, you want to give us an update on programs?
Okay, yeah. One thing that Nancy has joined our group, which is awesome. And I think I mentioned some of the things that are happening, and we have 4 master's presentations. But what I wanted to ask Steve is like, well, program night tonight, we have 40 some pictures of people that you have to identify. We didn't send out a list of our members to everybody, because it's like, how are we going to remember? How are we going to know everybody? Except people you know well. But if you see the name, sometimes you can attach that to a face. So that's my worry about tonight.
I didn't quite comprehend that. In other words, and maybe Nancy can help me out here. All the images have the titles that the member put on the image.
Oh yeah.
but
we,
none of the names appear. But at the end of the program, I can go into the gallery and check a toggle and go back in, and it will show all the names.
okay, but what I'm thinking is when the program is happening in real time and people are trying to guess who you are, that maybe if they had a list of the people in the club or the people who have, entered things or some list because they don't know all of our names.
Linda,
Do you think,
oh,
is
it's
that going to work
all
out
of them.
okay?
It's like 10 or 11 people. It's all the regulars.
Oh, okay, we'll know then.
Yeah. And the other thing is I can have a list, to be another method of knowing if we have about 50 images, it'd be a minute or two a piece.
Mhm.
I had thought that when we were done like guessing, I could tell who it is.
Okay.
I mean, that was one way I was thinking of handling it, but I'm open. Go
Oh,
ahead.
that sounds good. Yeah, I was just worrying.
Yeah, another suggestion you could do is with all the people that are there tonight, just do a quick roundtable of all the members and say, just let us know if you have pictures in or not. And since you know everybody, then you'll be able to rule out if anybody hasn't submitted anything. Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, we could
few.
see,
It's the
I
regular.
think what you're saying is at the beginning of the meeting, we just name all the people that have pictures in the gallery.
Yes.
Like
So
hello.
that when
Yeah.
you're guessing, it has to be among that list of names.
So you're not guessing, stripping. That's
Good
okay.
idea.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find some very surprising images in there.
I
I
bet.
can't wait.
So I think I'm good. I think we need to move on. Pass me by.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Move on. Participation, we need one.
Oh, good. Pat isn't here, but she's been forwarding the N4C newsletters and also about their show coming up. And Stephanie had also been passing forward the PSA newsletters. And I talked to Ellen about our lack of a social coordinator for 2026, and we're still open to finding one. And so if you have any candidates, let us know. The January social was at my house. We had 20 people and it was lovely. Thank you,
Wonderful.
everybody that
Wonderful.
came.
Sorry, I missed it.
It was fun. It's always a delight when I see a quorum of SRPS people because we so enjoy each other's company. You just put us in a room somewhere and we're just really happy. So that's lovely. So until we have a social coordinator, Tony is going to make sure that there is a little mini social event attached to all the field trips, whether that's a stop in a coffee shop or a lunch, so that we have the opportunity to have some social time in not a formal social event. Ellen suggested that I look for volunteers for a spring social, that instead of having a coordinator for the whole program, if somebody would just like to host one event or pick the venue for it and coordinate it. So we'll be looking for something in the springtime. And then the summer social is going to be the picnic at Mount Tam. That is the field trip. And so we've got it pretty well covered.
Oh, cool.
But Herb gave us a budget of $400, and we're going to spend a lot of that with the Mount Tam permit. But I'll talk to him again about if we need additional funding to support things going forward.
We probably move some program money out since we have so many master's presentation.
That's nice. And then keeping on old business, the N4C 2025 rules were adopted, and Steve has an action item to make sure it's updated on the website, but also thank you to Amy. I got the updated rules and all the calendar schedules and things when I got my membership renewal letter. So that was really handy to have all that information all in one place. And the last item is the camera bags that were donated by Think Tank. And I heard a comment about using them for a prize. That sounds like a great idea. And if it's okay, I think we can table that for our next meeting so that we can do a quick wrap and close this meeting before our regular programming meeting. Amy, do you? Oh, Nancy has.
I'm sorry, I'm now the PSA rep and I didn't know the
Oh,
meeting was coming up, so
sorry, I didn't know that. I will update my.
and I didn't know about this meeting until I saw it on my calendar, so I didn't get a chance to mention. It's very quickly. I've got us in this interclub competition, and I thank Cindy for helping me get it going because she has that experience from the other club. And our first round, we did really, really well. Our rankings were really good. And we got 4 certificates, which I sent out stuff talking about that. And they don't give out very many. So we did extremely well. And I've just now put everybody into round 2. I am waiting on one person, and that should be shortly. And so we're all set up for the next round. There's total of 3 rounds. Things we get individual certificates for people, and we get ranked. And this is not only nationally but internationally.
Wow.
Wow,
That's cool. That's it.
very nice.
It keeps me out of trouble.
That's awesome. Thanks, Nancy.
So just getting back to the camera bags, I mean, I would love to get them out of my basement. You know, so if we have an idea about how we can use them this year and then start letting people know that they're available, if it's, I don't know, it could be end of the year prizes. It could be, Tony can use them as field trip, you know, some kind of field trip competition that he wants to do. I don't know. It's up for grabs, but I would like to have a plan to dispose of them. So we don't maybe need to decide, but maybe people throw out ideas and we can figure it out.
Cool. Any closing items, Cindy?
No, I think what we'll do is we'll kick the advancement and rule changes item to put that as an agenda item for next month.
Okay.
Because I do want to make sure that we're cognizant of the time. And thanks for bearing with me on all of my questions. I promise I won't have so much next time. But yeah, that's it for me.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Steve. I second. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.